angel investor in DeFi projects. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And what's your name?
Firdosh.
Firdush.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll present the drive.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start.
Yeah. So Drife is a decentralized ride-hailing platform. The idea of Drife is very simple. We want to give back the power back to the community where it basically belongs to. We believe in that idea that when two parties share value among themselves, why don't they share reward among themselves as well? No doubt the technological disruption in the mobility space, with we knowing about Uber, Lyft, and Ola of the world, they brought convenience to us. But in that whole process, they created a huge gap. The gap which has been created because they are able to manipulate and have the power to control everything and anything in this ecosystem, and they started exploiting the drivers and rider because they have lived with the idea that greed is good. And that is where the whole journey for us started, when we realized that ride-hailing platform charges driver huge commission. The highest commission that a driver is paying this day is as huge as 40%, and that is where the problem has been transferred to rider as well. Rider get to pay more fare, then they have to get exploited by the fact that there are price manipulation, there are surge pricing. So taking into consideration all of that, we said like, okay, we want to build something which is more about giving this power back to the community, and it is also about giving the 100% of fare that is being paid by a rider to the driver. Drive is a zero commission based model where 100% fare paid by a rider goes to the driver. We are close to our launch plan in India, Bangalore. We have a community of 20,000 drivers who have participated in various reviews and surveys with us. We will be doing a pilot in the month of March, and after that we will be doing a soft launch in Bangalore, India with 2,000 drivers. The plan is to launch in Pan Bangalore by this year in, and Bangalore itself has 800k driver. And if we are able to even tap into like 10% of it, it will be a huge deal for anybody who is into the blockchain space to get that kind of adoption for a project which is not only dealing with money but also with people into this ecosystem. So they say to disrupt what we call is already disrupted. The only thing that we need is the willingness to make that change, and we are ready for the change, and we're looking for people to be a part of this journey. Thank you.
Nice speech. Thank you. So my first question would be what you need, and what you give for what you need.
What we need, there are different things that we need in this process. To start with, the investment that we are looking for, we are raising our private sale. We are doing a private sale at this point of time, looking to raise 1.5 million at this point of time, be it in the sale or in the equity. We have closed our seed investment in the equity. We have Eternity Ventures, who also owns the AE blockchain. They are our seed investors. Apart from investment, what we need is strategic partnership, people who will be able to take us to different part of the world where we'll be able to launch the Drive platform and get to places in no time. So people with connection who can help us get into the market, help us with the operations and marketing, getting to the customer base that we want to reach is what we are looking at.
How you spent 1.5 million, which you're selling on private sale, and also give me some brief valuation of the company after the seed round, pre-money, or and what's your target valuation on current private sale stage?
We did a pre-money valuation of 2 million before we raised our seed investment with Eternity Venture. At this point of time, 5%. And now, like for the private sale, again, the valuation that I'm telling you is about the equity. We are valued at $8 million at this point of time. With the money that we get, obviously we have to spend it on the testing and the pilot run that we have to do in the coming months. But mostly it will be used for marketing and starting our operations in our first city. 20% more, so you will have like 75%. And how do you Yes.
distribute this among your team?
The major stake lies with me because I started with the company. So I have like 50% stake in the company, and then I have two more co-founder who have like other 20% with them. That is how it is distributed at this point of time. Now I'm talking about the mostly it will be into the product development for the testing of the application. Not mostly, yeah, it's not mostly. It's like the minor part of it will go towards that. Mostly it will be to acquire the customer who will take the ride. So the rider base, the marketing cost is huge. We already have driver base in place, but we need to get to the rider base, and that is where we will be spending most of our money, marketing ourselves amongst the riders, so they come and download the application and use the application.
So you're selling equity and there will be token, right?
We have both in place. We have equity because we did a equity round. Like equity is a whole. Equity and token are not interrelated. Like token has its own utility which is used within the platform, where you can pay your fares and pay your subscription fees using the DRF token. It also gives you rights to participate in the governance and decision making. The more you hold, the more decision making you can participate in. Mostly it's about the governance that we want to bring into this ecosystem, where every participant has the right to participate in the decision making. So it's mostly a governance token, and also has a utility which can be used within the platform.
Okay. So again, will there be the conflict of interest between the equity shares? Because when you buy equity, you're buying the future income, right?
Yeah.
And you have the value by distributing the dividends. So and there will be token.
Yeah.
Doesn't they like clash with each other?
So we have like two different foundation. Like we have a foundation in place which has the utility token, and like the company that we have, who for which we sold that equity, it's mostly a technology company who's building the product. So that's the difference between the foundation, and the foundation is who runs the operations, and the technology company which take care of the tech development of the product.
Okay. So the last question will be: we're on DeFi conference, right?
Yeah.
So do you have DeFi features, and what are these DeFi
Yes.
features?
DeFi is not only limited to moving tokens from one place to another and swapping it. It has like more meaning, and I guess for us it is about decentralizing the power, bringing in more governance into place. But there is something that we are trying to do is where we can actually help drivers get loans to buy vehicles with the help of the community who's holding the token. They can lend it to drivers, and they can get into the ecosystem, be a participant in the ecosystem. Another thing is what we want to work on is the in-trip insurance, where we insure the trip between when you are into a ride, and assume like on everyday basis millions of rides are happening in a ride hailing platform, and every ride getting insured in the decentralized space will make a huge difference to how we see the decentralized finance. So bringing mostly
So we have a little time. So two
yeah.
last questions. So first of all, very interesting project. And two questions. First of all, how you can justify your valuation right now? So you told me like it's 8 million, right? There should be like DCF model or something like that,
Yes,
right?
yes, we have
That's-
that in place.
that's just, and the second thing, if I would to invest, like what is the procedure and how investor can invest money in?
Okay, so again, because we have two things in place, we have both equity and token. It depends upon what kind of investment are you looking at. If it is an equity investment, we take it through the legal process of due diligence. Both the parties need to do the due diligence, and we come up to a value, because we have just started with the pre-series A, we said, where we are looking for investor to invest in the equity. So it's basically equity investment is a long due process, due diligence and then the compliance. So it takes time, but with the token, it will be easier. If you want to invest in token, we get in touch with each other, and see at what price you want to buy, and how comfortable with we both are with our terms.
Sorry, and the last question is what you can show as a prototype or something to the upcoming investors.
Yes, yes, we have a prototype in place that I can show you for both the driver and rider application. We also have our application in the test flight in App Store. Anybody can, if they are really looking to, they can request the access, and we can give the access to go through the application and use the application.
And you have already some metrics, right? So you already tested some and have the metrics, how much one driver costs, how much one
Yes.
user costs, and so on.
Yeah, we have that in
And
place.
how much, customer, and how much you receive from one user, and how much you receive money from one driver. You have that.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Very nice. Very nice speech. Yeah. So let's keep in touch. That's really interesting.